Hey, coming up in just a few minutes, Lady Gaga, The Rolling Stones, InSync, Chris Stapleton.
All in a death match to the end.
It's not entirely true.
Oh.
More music news as well, including one artist who maybe had the line of his career.
It is impressive.
At an award show the other night. It's all on the way. Hi, it's Tony and Chris. Hello. Glad to have you back. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. I'm going to start with just a quick shout out to a doctor. It's funny, you reach a certain age, and I hadn't gone to the doctor in forever. Mm-hmm. And then Katie, my wife, has been like, I have great insurance. It's time. Go do all these things. So I've just been going to every doctor in the world. So shout out to Dr. Chang, my new dermatologist.
Oh, nice.
I've had this little age spot on my face for years, and I don't even remember when it showed up. And it just, I didn't like it. I didn't think it was dangerous necessarily. She took the time to take it off, and she said, it doesn't look dangerous to me, but we're going to check it out. But she was just awesome.
Oh, good.
You know how when you luck into getting a doctor that has a great bedside manner, good sense of humor, makes you feel good? That was her.
Dr. Feelgood and Dr. Pepper are the only two doctors I need in the world.
Dr. Dre. I like that.
Okay.
I use him occasionally.
Occasionally.
Yeah. Anyway, kudos to Nashville Skin. They're great people over there, did a really nice job, and I appreciate Dr. Chang taking such good care of me. And if you wonder what's going on with my face, that's what it is. So.
There's a lot of questions about both of our faces, and it has nothing to do with a dermatologist.
That's true. This just is what it is. If only there was a doctor who could fix that. A movie I have successfully avoided for 21 years.
Yes. Katie made you watch it.
Well, she tried.
Okay, what movie?
Bend It Like Beckham. Remember that movie?
That's not the movie I would have expected you to say just now. That's a soccer movie, right?
Right, yeah.
And Ladybugs is sitting right there?
That's what I said. So if you ever try to make me watch a soccer movie again, it better be Ladybugs. No, she wanted to watch it. I guess she likes the movie a lot, and I know a lot of people did. It was a huge hit. Didn't appeal to me. I don't think it's a movie made for me. I'm not a soccer fan. I don't live in that world. So anyway, I said, yeah, I'll watch it with it. Come on, turn it on. I said, you always watch stuff I want to watch. We'll turn it on. And then she always gives me the out, as I've said. If you don't like it, we'll turn it off. So we got, I don't know, maybe half an hour in. I finally was like, I can't do this anymore.
Good for you. I was going to say.
It was brutal. How did that movie become a hit?
I think I walked out on the commercial.
In the first 5 minutes, I was already, and she was already kind of, it's not all like this. They're just, so when people have to start explaining why a movie.
You know what that was? That was her realizing it's been a long time since I've seen it, and this is bad, but now I got to try to save it.
No, I think she came back. She finished it the next day on her own.
Oh.
She wanted to watch it.
Good for her.
Boy, I don't get it.
Count me in.
Don't have to get every movie. Not everybody has to be a fan of everything. No. So I'm definitely not a fan of Bend It Like Beckham. Gotcha. And then one other one, just a quick, I'm going to throw it out as just a mention. I don't know if I'd go so far as to recommend it. It depends on the kind of movies you like.
Okay.
But a Netflix original came out with Benicio del Toro, and we watched it the other night. It's called Reptile. And Justin Timberlake's in it. A lot of familiar character actor faces that you'll see. And it's kind of a slow burn, True Detectives type thing that has you kind of guessing who done it.
Okay. I like those.
Throughout a lot of the movie. I enjoyed it. It was good. I'm glad I watched it. But I will say about halfway through, I kind of started getting a little antsy. Like I needed it to
just a little long.
Yeah, just a touch long, or the pacing needed to be addressed. But it's a good movie. And if you like murder mysteries, check it out.
Gotcha.
And then this has nothing to do with anything, but it just was something that when we saw it, we said, man, we got to share this. If you thought like ants, that's the big stereotypical thing. Oh, we're going to a picnic and a bunch of ants came out and ruined it. Ants are welcome at my picnic anytime, as opposed to what happened to this family.
Oh, my goodness.
Check this out. Okay, so you're enjoying yourself and everything's great, and all of a sudden a black bear shows up and gets on the table.
And let me just tell you, at this point, the difference between these people and me would be our pants situation. Because theirs looks clean from this point.
I think bears are amazing. I am blown away by how they handled this. I mean, look at her, just stock still, covered her son's face so he doesn't freak out.
I was this close to a bear once, and it was absolutely terrifying. And then, not even a year later, they shut down the Country Bear Jamboree.
That's about as close as I ever want to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get it. Oh, that's the thing right there where he just takes the sniff of the kid. Like, do I want to eat this guy too?
Nah.
Luckily,
pass.
Generally speaking.
Well, he wasn't gluten-free.
Black bears are not, super, they're not trying to hurt humans. They just want to find food. And I get it. I just don't know what I would do. I mean, because my initial reaction would be to want to get up and run away.
Yep.
Which is exactly what you're not supposed to do. Kudos to them. They handled it just the right way. Woo!
Because I would have been screaming and running, and Lily and Rachel would have heard me saying, "Save yourselves!"
I'll see you on the other side. I mean, wow, crazy video. Grocery store diaries. And this really it extends beyond grocery stores because you've experienced it, like in restaurants and bars and things like that. Saw it the other night. I've seen it many times. What is, and it seems like it's a new thing. I haven't seen it a lot, but in the last few months, why are people suddenly so angry about having to show their ID to buy alcohol?
Well, people are angry in general, more angry now, I think, than ever before. And they're just looking for chances to become unhinged.
This guy, and I get it. He's clearly plenty old enough. He's got his Vietnam veterans cap on and everything. But the cashier said, "Hi, I just need to see your ID." "Why do you need to see my ID?" And he starts kind of and he's mean to this person. And this young lady is just doing her job. It is the law.
Yeah, you see, I was going to say, I've seen the flip side of that where people are bragging like, "I got carded today at the bar," or whatever. And it's like, the law is now, if you're purchasing alcohol, you must have ID and show the ID to the owner of the establishment, because if you don't have that ID and then the police get involved or whatever, that company can get in trouble.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't have it in front of me. I don't know. But how long has it been 21 and over for alcohol?
Yeah.
I mean, as long as I've been around.
Yeah.
This is not new. And having to show your ID, yeah, and believe me, I know there are plenty of places out there that have been pretty lax about it, and a lot of people got in trouble. It is not that difficult. It takes about 2 seconds to pull out your ID and say, "There you go, it verifies my birth." So the cashier said, and he was like, "Why do you need to see my?" She goes, "I don't need to see your ID. But it's a state law that if you want to buy this alcohol, then you have to show me your ID." And he goes, "Why don't you tell me how old you are?" And she said, "Well, I'm going to be 52 very soon, but I'm not trying to buy alcohol, so I don't have to show you my ID. But if you want to buy this alcohol, you're going to show me yours." And I wanted to applaud. I wanted to break out. And he did after a lot of grumbling. And I was just like, what is the big deal,
the amount of time and energy spent to complain about that.
You could have just shown her the ID. Clearly you're of age, no big deal, and then gone on your way. And then, and I've heard several people too, "Oh, you better not," because they scan it now, because on the back, and "What are you doing? Why are you scanning that? The government's." I said, "Dude, do you have a social security number? The government has been tracking you since you were born. Relax. Nobody gives a damn what you're doing."
And your driver's license, yeah, they scanned it, but guess what? Your driver's license, they have it at the DMV.
Yeah.
Any credit card purchase you make, anything.
And usually it's the same people who already have shown the Kroger card or Kroger app. So you already signed up for the Kroger thing. So they've got your information anyway. Why do you care? I don't understand. Anyway, it's no big deal. And don't take it out on the cashiers. They're just following the law.
I do feel bad for those cashiers.
They don't want to get in trouble. It's not that big a thing. Show the ID. Move on with your life. And then one other quick grocery store note is the state of baggers. Now, I have always complained about people who bag my groceries. Yeah. I generally try to, in fact, for the last 2 years, we have bagged our own. We just finally gave up. We bring our own bags, and so it's easier for me to just do it. And the other night, this lady in front of me is putting her stuff up, and the kid starts bagging, and he puts in, I wasn't really paying attention, but then I heard him say it. He put in, I guess, some chips, and then he started putting canned goods in on top of it. And the cashier's like, whoa, what are you doing? He goes, "What?" She goes, "Well, don't put the big heavy stuff in. You're going to break all the chips." He goes, "So?"
Oh.
And she was like, "So?" She goes, "Well, he goes, "I eat them broken. They taste the same." She goes, "Yeah, but not everyone wants to do that. And not everybody feels that way. So why don't you take a little more care?" And he was like, "I don't see what the big," and she finally went, "Just get out of here." She sent him on his way. And the lady said, "Thank you so much." And she was like, "Well, I don't understand." And I see that all the time. And that's another reason I don't want baggers touching my stuff, because they don't care.
I'll jump in on this grocery story thing. I was yesterday, bought some frozen peas, and my groceries are going through, and there's 2 bags of them. And I'm at the back of the register, but as he picks them up, some peas fall out. There's a hole in the bottom of the bag. And I go, "Oh, excuse me, sir. There's peas dumping out there. There's a hole in the bag." And he goes, "Oh, yeah." Scans it and puts it down to be bagged. And I'm like, "Whoa, I don't want it." And he goes, "Oh, you don't want to buy it?" And I'm like, "Not that one."
Yeah, half the peas are gone, dude. It's got a hole in it.
And he was like, "Oh, okay." And I was just like, wow.
What is happening? And I hate to sound like an old grouchy man, but it's just.
Oh, I laughed because I'm like, man, this kid can't be this dumb.
It's just observations that I see of people just not giving a damn about anything.
Yeah.
Or giving too much of a damn about something that doesn't matter.
Exactly.
"I want to see my ID." I want to quickly say, just as long if you're still with us at this point, thank you for liking the shows. Thank you for hitting that like button. Thanks for sharing these links. If you haven't, give it a try. It feels really good.
Yeah, if you share it and put a little comment at the top, like, "Hey, if you're one of my friends, it'd mean a lot to me if you follow these guys." That'd mean a lot to us.
If you come back more than once or twice, maybe it's time to hit that subscribe button and get the notifications so you can check out all our new content. We're putting up new stuff all the time, but we appreciate you. Now, diving into a whole bunch of music stories. And we'll start with the big one. I know a lot of people were super excited about this. InSync dropping a new song for the first time in 20 years.
I cannot tell you. There's not a word invented to describe the excitement I don't have for this because I just don't care.
Well, I love Justin Timberlake, and I think they were great for music in their time, like Backstreet Boys, all those boy bands. I listened to the song out of curiosity. I was like, oh, what does InSync sound like in 2023?
Babyface from 1993.
And as I heard it, I thought, this is the first thing that came to my mind. This is why I was never a fan of their music. I was never a fan of InSync. I can't think of one song I like. It's not that I don't like it. It's not like it offends me, but I'm just like, this just isn't my thing, and it just is bleh.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan, I'm sure you're very excited, and good for you.
I just wish they had done my idea. And Justin, they waited till Justin had nowhere to go but needed to come back. But I think it would have been great to do a 12-week American Idol type show to replace Justin and let the members be the judges every week and put these contestants through and then have Justin on the final episode to make the decision of who's going to replace him in the group.
Well, that's very similar to what InXS did after Michael Hutchence died.
Oh, that's right.
They did a reality show where they found a new lead singer. And I have to admit, I watched that show, and the guy they got was pretty good. And they carried on for a little while, but how can nobody can be Michael Hutchence. And
no.
So that,
and we don't even want to get into how he passed away because the risk reward on that kind of.
Well, you got to have a spotter.
Yeah.
Got to have a spotter.
Exactly.
Pink, I like her music.
I love Pink.
Katie loves Pink. Katie's a huge fan of Pink. Her songs come on, and I'm like, okay.
Remember when Chesney was on the show and he had that song out with her, and he goes, he didn't mean this in a cocky way. It's going to sound that way. But he's like, he knows he's Kenny Chesney.
He's a big star.
And he goes, man, usually when I'm in the studio, everybody's like, oh, Kenny's here. That's the artist, so we need to, whatever he says, go. And he goes, Pink was in there. I was invisible. People were falling all over themselves.
She's a big personality. And I think I like her more as like who she is and what she has to say really than anything.
Yeah.
So the other night, for some bizarre reason, this guy goes to her show. So he pays for a ticket to go to the Pink concert, and he's holding up, I guess just his phone, with some kind of message about being against circumcision. So I wish I could get inside this guy's head to think, here's how I'm going to make this work. Here's how I'm going to end circumcision across the world.
All I can figure is she's must have made some comments about it or something, and he thought, I'm going to show her. And it's like.
But but the thought process, I'm going to go hold up a phone at a Pink concert and change the world. So she obviously noticed it and saw it, and they had a little back and forth. And she goes, I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't know whose mind you're trying to change here tonight. It's like, and then things kind of escalated, and she might have said, okay, that's cool. You're out of here. And had security remove him.
And it's that's like comedians getting heckled. You're never going to win that battle. And is that.
I get protesting things you don't agree with. That you have every right to do that in this country. But did you think you were going to make some kind of change at a random Pink show by holding up a phone in a room full of 30,000 people?
That's like when you see somebody outside a football game with a giant, preaching at you that you're going to go to hell. And sure. It's like, really? Right now, I'm worried about covering the spread.
I'm trying to break a lot of commandments here, man.
Exactly.
I don't have time for you yelling at me. I get it. I know what the result's going to be. But kudos to Pink for not taking any crap. And then this is I had not heard this story until you told me, but Rolling Stones, a lot of excitement about that if you're a Stones fan, about new music.
Oh, it's the two songs that are released off this album are really good.
Yeah. Still making it happen.
They're 80, and on this new song, it's the Stones, Lady Gaga, and Stevie Wonder. And it's got the oomph. And I'm not exaggerating this. To me, it has the same kind of vibe and feel of you can't always get what you want. Like It's got that kind of power. And I think this is a song that 20 years after they're gone will be in that rotation of, oh, no, that was a great Stones song.
Well, I love that. I love even more the story behind how this all kind of came together with Gaga anyway.
Yeah, please look it up and read it because it's just so detailed and so good. But she was in the building and they come down to her. Lady Gaga is recording. They're like, hey, Mick wants to see you. And she's like, well, I only know one Mick. So she goes and ends up sitting in the floor with her back against the wall, listening to the music and is just taking it in. Like she's looking at the Rolling Stones. They're all there recording with Stevie Wonder. And then she gets a call that says, Mick wants you to come back tonight at 1 a.m. because they stay from like midnight till 7 or 8 a.m. to record, and said, Mick wants you to come back and do vocals on this. And Mick was like, we're going to do it the way I did it in the day. He wanted it old school. So they stood at like two mics in the same room and did one take all the way through to get it right. And and she was just sitting there talking about how surreal.
You can't even imagine. And I get, I'm a music fan, so I get chills when I hear stories like that about just old school, because it's so rare for two artists to be in the same room like that to record these kind of songs.
Well, again, I always talk about it. The Stones, for over 40 years, have not gone into a city where a stadium's not waiting to see them and paying them money. So like if they were to show up somewhere and nobody cared, it'd be like, what is?
That is crazy. And then to think too, most people, especially guys, you hit 60 and it's like, you're ready to go to, it's 7:30. I better hit the sack. These guys are staying up all night recording music.
And the songs are cool. They're 80. The songs are cool. They hold up. Like a lot of times you're like, oh boy, now you're getting political or you're getting this or you sound like an old man or whatever.
Yeah.
These 2 songs so far are great.
Yeah, very exciting. That's cool. And then if you love Chris Stapleton, and I know many people do, this is exciting. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is coming up November 3rd, I believe. They're going to live stream the thing on Disney Plus this year, which that's cool. Yeah. As long as I just need HBO to keep carrying the afterwards.
Yeah, but Stapleton is opening up the ceremonies with Hakuna Matata.
That is incorrect.
Oh,
it's fake news. But he is going to perform. I mean, Willie Nelson, is getting inducted, and I've got to hope that he's going to be part of that performance.
If Stapleton sings "Always on My Mind,"
you'll hear a pin drop in that place. A lot of cool. I mean, Brandy Carlisle is going to be performing. Elton John's going to perform. They got, they always get a lot of cool people lined up.
John's 3-month retirement.
Yeah. So it should be a lot of fun. But if you're a Stapleton fan, you want to keep an eye out for that. And if you're a Willie fan, this is a huge moment for Willie.
He's 90. So
let's
he's not a young whippersnapper like the Stones.
That's right. And then Toby Keith, maybe the line of his career. We've had a long, I won't say relationship with Toby, a long working relationship.
Yeah, we've known
with Toby Keith
from the beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning of his career on. We've interviewed him many times. We've been around him many times. And generally speaking, he was pretty cantankerous in the early days.
He was pretty bitter.
Had a kind of a chip on his shoulder that he wasn't getting the attention he felt he deserved. And I get that. But he really has mellowed out in the last 10, 15 years. And it was a lot of fun. I was talking to him. And of course, we hated to hear about his diagnosis of stomach cancer, which is never a good thing. But he showed up the other night at the People's Choice Country Awards. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, and he's looking so frail.
And well, if you have anybody in your life who's battled it, it does that. But he was there, and he's there to pick up his whatever that big award was he got. And in the process of all that, he had just the greatest line.
Yeah, he just jumped out and said, "Bet y'all never thought you'd see me in skinny jeans." And everybody laughed, and it kind of lightened the mood a little bit.
You have to find humor in those things.
When I say everybody laughed, the room, because according to the ratings, only 3.36 million people watched this.
Well, I mean,
CMAs, by contrast, in last November had over 9 million viewers.
Yeah. I think there comes a time when there are just too many of these kind of shows.
Yeah. Well, this is the people that own the Opry are with some, I forget the other entertainment industry, and they all kind of, Universal, I think, and they said, we need to do an award show. And
glad to see Toby. He talked about, his battle. He said he has good days and bad days. It's definitely a roller coaster. And I certainly understand that. But, usually, and when you hear somebody being diagnosed with like stomach cancer or pancreatic cancer, things like that, it's not long.
Yeah.
But he's fighting it, man. He's making it happen. So we wish him the very best. All right. Well, so we'll wrap it on that note and just remind you once again that it's fairly new. There's a link in the description. And if you check out our social media stuff, we are Amazon influencers and part of the Amazon Associates program now, where you can do the shopping you would normally do. And if you use the links that we provide, then we get a little commission from that.
Absolutely. And also we have an Etsy store. And Deborah, thank you. Deborah has bought some more products, and she's taken them with her around Cades Cove and other places in East Tennessee and taking pictures with them.
I love it. We'll try to get some new stuff in there as well. But we appreciate you. As we are doing this digital thing now, these are ways that help us, buy new equipment or just do things that we have to get done. This is how we're making our living. So we appreciate your support. It means a lot. We had a few people say, "Hey, why don't you guys start a Patreon?" Great. I have had to learn so much new stuff in the last year and a half since we've been doing this. That's one more thing I've just got to take a look at. Love the idea. It is a great way for you to help support the show and support us. So we'll take a look at that. But for now, we just thank you for liking the videos.
And sharing
the videos, subscribing to the channel. If you haven't followed us on our other social media, we have links for all that in the description as well. Do that, please. We'd love to have you over there too. We post a lot of different content there. Appreciate you watching. We will see you again real soon. Thanks.